week. As you see, I'm starting alone because I kicked these two a-holes for giving us terrible projections. I'm just kidding. We can't do this alone. I got Alejandro here with me. Where you at, buddy?
Here I am, bro.
Yeah, you don't seem
Ready to
excited.
go. I mean, we're
And as
coming off a loss,
always,
man.
oh, it's true. But as always, and I know we're not as excited to see him, it's Martin.
Boo.
Chargers fan number one.
Take me back. Take me back.
Well, guys, it was
It
a
might be better
Saturday.
this way, honestly. If you
Whoa,
want to,
yeah.
you want to go. I mean, let's have a real Dolphin podcast now. You know. Nah.
Someone has to be realistic.
We
So, yeah,
both
guys, it was
predicted
a
an L
tough week,
last
man.
time, bro. So we were both being realistic.
I think I guessed the score. Just saying.
I didn't go back.
We're gonna have to
I didn't
go back and watch the tape. But tough week. We lost 31-17 to arguably the best team in the NFL. I don't think we had such a bad game. Let's hear your thoughts on it. Let's start with you, Martin, since you're the realist of the group.
I honestly didn't think it was as bad as people were making it out to seem. At the end of the day, we went into Philly. The game was 17-24 into the fourth quarter. You know, you really can't ask for. If you're looking at just the normal, like overall stats, looking at the quarters, quarter by quarter, it wasn't as bad, man. That the lack of run game is the biggest thing for me. I felt like we just went away from it, and it really changed the whole ball game for us. I don't know about Godo, but yeah, that's my biggest takeaway so far.
Do you ever talk about anything else, bro? You broken fucking record. Run game, bro. Like,
You know why I talk about it so much? Because it doesn't get fit.
It's important. Understand. My biggest takeaway from this Sunday, in the fourth quarter, you're down 7 points. You had a chance. You know, there were a bunch of mistakes. And don't let me even get started on the officials this week. I know Martin's going to say, oh, you can't fucking count on that. It's bad all the time. Whatever. But for a team to get penalized 0 times, and if you're playing a technically sound team and they play mistake-free football, whatever, you can roll with that. They didn't get 0 penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we saw from Philly this weekend. And we didn't get any help from those fucking officials. It's ridiculous. But we were probably a Tyreek touchdown drop away from making a real difference in that game. That's how I'm leaving with it.
I feel like there was more than one play that you can point out that where we missed an opportunity, but Martin's still living in the 50s, wants to run the ball every single play.
Not every play, but keep doing it. Be consistent. It's shown to be our greatest strength. Not greatest strength, but it's the thing that excels our pass game. How good we've ran this year, it's just made our passing offense a lot easier to do and develop. You don't have to just worry about the pass game the last 6 weeks or 5 weeks, the first 5 weeks of the season. We've been able to do both. It's just been able to, spread the ball out and run when you need to. And they're not doing it. They're not being consistent. You can't play a good team and just change the way you play football. That's not the way this works. Go back. You are the one that command.
Skinny, I want to come back to you because you mentioned the referees is probably the worst you have seen in a long time. I'm going to take a pause for a second. This is rare for me. Can you guys say that the NFL? No, because I'm going to take a pause about talking about the Dolphins. Can you guys say the NFL really wants to see Eagles Chiefs again in this year's Super Bowl?
Yes, because of Taylor Swift.
That's a good point.
I don't think
if you really want to profit
anything. That game didn't do anything. If you're gonna say that, maybe in the playoffs, if that happens. But right now, week 6, that's not. Yes, whatever. I get it. The stats are up. Everything's up. But at the end of the day, we didn't play our best. We had a lot of injuries. There was a lot more to look at than just the referees. I don't really see that as the reason we lost, like by any means. Like I feel like we gave up on the run game. We didn't get to. We got pressure on Jalen Hurts, but we didn't get to him. And then the tush push, bro, it killed us.
Now, I
That's
don't think
arguably
we
the
got.
best
I
play in
don't think we
football.
got away from the run game. I really don't. It just didn't
Well, of
work.
course we
We
did.
got
Mhm.
outmanned by the better defensive line. We were beat up on the offensive line. We started our first half was -7 yards. Like, what are you doing? Like,
And you know why? Because they kept running toward the heart of their defense, the D line, going
Mhm.
straight to the middle. You saw the first drive
that's a
out of the second
lie.
half.
That's
You
a
saw the first
lie.
Whoa!
drive.
That's a
Let's
You saw the
move
lie.
first
on.
drive.
Let's
You
move
saw the
on.
first
Let's move
drive of
on.
the second
We're gonna
half
get into the
that we were
flops,
running to the
and I am
outsides,
cutting
and
off
it looked.
Martin.
Timeout.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Nah, for real. Let's bring him back in. That was a crazy take there, Martin. But let's move on. Let's get into the biggest flop. Since you guys want to talk about what's a disappointment in this game, we started with you, Martin. Let's go back with Skinny now. Skinny, what was your biggest flop? Whether it be a moment, player, game plan, what was it? What was it out there?
My biggest loser from this Sunday is the NFL for
Oh
hiring
my
these
god.
fucking referees that are blowing teams all over and costing them wins. That's the biggest. No, okay, I'm fucking around. Yeah, because I don't want to blame the game on just the officials, even though I do believe they stunted any chance for us to win. But my biggest
It
loss,
was a 7 point game. How is that possible? 7 point game.
we
There's
we
nothing to
lost
do
by
with that.
10. No. But what do you
Most
mean?
of like it
How
was a
many
close game though the whole way, basically,
how
man.
many
Like
calls did you see not get made?
a lot of false
Mhm.
starts on there, and I'll see. I saw.
False starts. I saw holdings that went against us, and I saw David Long getting chokehold. I saw fucking Cedric Wilson getting a face mask on a deep route on a 4th down, critical down in the red zone. Like, what is going on here? Like, anyone that says that the refs were not a factor in that game is lying to you, bro. Or they're a Phillies fan. Yeah, I mean, sorry, an Eagles fan. But I just think our offensive line got beat up this week, bro. That's got to be my biggest take from this one. It sucks right now. We're not healthy right now, and this is going to be a pivotal stretch because if we lose to to New England this weekend, that's coming off a hot big win. You never know, man. That team might come in here and surprise us big time. Because you know they're gonna attack us. Belichick's gonna expose our weakness, which is definitely gonna be that left side of the offensive line right now.
Thank you for analyzing all of that. But what the hell was your biggest flop? Like what?
Our offensive line,
Okay, thank you.
you failed the test.
I don't think they
Okay.
did. I think that they got to capitalize on a lead at the end of the game, but in the beginning, I'm not saying it was pretty, but it wasn't like we were getting sacked. Like we got our first sack in the third or fourth quarter, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know it was one of those quarters.
It's not about
Um,
sacks. They won in the trenches this week. We said that
bro,
last week.
at the
Whoever
end of
was more dominant, whoever was more physical was gonna win
And
this
I
game.
agree. And I said
Philly
that. I
took
said that the trenches and the run game were going to be the biggest factor for us possibly winning the game.
Mhm.
We didn't win at either. We didn't win in the sense we didn't give ourselves a chance. We put ourselves in a bad position to be throwing the ball consistently when you know their D line just gets to the quarterback with ease. You're setting your team up for failure. If you're playing a team with a good D line, you got to keep them. You got to keep them on their toes and running the. I know I'm a broken record, whatever. I've been saying this since last year. The reason why we are not where we want to be is because we don't commit to the run game. We will be. I'm sorry, you guys say it. That Tua is the best quarterback. Blah blah blah. I don't see him being wholeheartedly the reason why you end up being an elite team. You need a balanced attack. There's no way that you're gonna force feed Tyreek Hill a whole season and think that's gonna be that's gonna be like a route to the Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. You need to give him a run game. That's where you'll see his best, and you have been seeing his best because our
Mhm.
run game has been consistent. My biggest flop for this week, to me, is Mike McDaniel and the way he chose to really play calls, decision making were horrible. I think two things that stood out to me were the Mostert, the Slay interception, which had Waddle right there with him, which allowed Slay to get the interception. If you look at the play, if Slay's not there, that's actually a catch by Mostert.
Or a
Mostert probably
PI.
gets the touchdown. No, or PI, whatever. But Mostert was the
Yeah.
only one looking at the ball. The linebacker that was covering him was gone. Like he was literally nowhere. He thought he was going to run into the stands because basically he had no idea the ball was coming. So that was one situation. We got lucky on the other one that Cedric Wilson and somebody else were in the same vicinity and the ball got caught. But and the decision making on the fourth down to go for it, the
Instead of
game
take the
wasn't lost.
points, yeah.
The game wasn't lost yet. Why were you put yourself in a bad situation? Mike Daniel gets the biggest bust for me for sure.
Analytics, bro. The
I'm
analytics.
glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Martin. I feel like we should have took the 3, and that was a bad call by him to go on 4th down. Getting the 3 there keeps you alive.
He's
I'm
consistent,
sorry,
man.
Martin.
He's
Go ahead.
consistent on these bad decisions versus good teams. He goes for it when you're not supposed to. Versus good teams that are really putting us in a bad situation, and he gives up on the run. I'm sorry, it's going to continue coming out of my mouth. If we continue to run the ball and be consistent, as good as he was a run game coordinator, he's not doing it versus good teams. He thinks we have to give up right when whatever, a whole quarter, a whole half. When have you not seen a tale of two halves that you suck at something the first half? And the second half, things changed. The first drive of the second half, it looked completely different, and we went away from it after that.
I mean, that's why I feel he's good at. He's not gonna commit to the same mistake twice. Thank God he did notice that. But Martin, your take earlier just blew my mind. The run was going to the outside where Reddick was stopping it all day. Like literally, it was all Reddick. They didn't. I don't even think they ran to that left side till late in the. Well, not late. Late in the first half, maybe early second half. But go ahead.
Not only that, but I don't know why we set up an I formation and do a pitch play. I've never seen that run ever. Like that is never it's never something that's gonna succeed. You're literally letting them know already where you're going. There's no counters, there's no nothing. It's a pitch. Wherever he goes is you're gonna be able to surround him. That we did it that's why again our first half was a lot of we ran the ball. We did try to, but pitch plays on every time. You don't do that. It has not worked. No matter what, A-Chain, Ahmed, or Mostert, not one pitch play has ever worked. If you look at all the plays, this last game, for example, obviously you're going to go about a pass game.
Wrong.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Pitch plays don't work.
No,
Wrong.
You can't
Pitch
say it
plays don't
doesn't
work.
work when
Dolphins have been running that
A-Chan scoring.
shotgun.
They're doing it at
When
A
A-Chan
form.
is
They're doing
scoring.
I form. They're doing it at I form. How does that make sense to you? You don't do pitch plays.
I
and it's like
agree.
a direct.
Okay.
It's a direct pitch. It's not like a lateral a lateral. It's not a lateral pitch. It's literally like going to the turn around here, ball. Like that's literally what he's doing. Like he's
Okay.
like Monster's not moving and he's giving him the pitch. It makes no sense.
I can agree in the sense that when you're lined up in I formation, why are you doing it? But you cannot say it hasn't worked for them when I think more than half of the touchdowns they've scored rushing the ball has been on that little toss play where they just cut it right up the middle. I'm just gonna say that. But my biggest flop for this week
about tosses, bro. Come on.
Yeah. My
It
biggest
makes a
flop for
difference.
this week, and Skinny, you made this point. We had 10 penalties compared to their 0, but out of the 10 penalties, Christian Wilkins accounted for 3 of them, and they're mental mistakes. 2 offsides, and were clearly offsides, and then the third one being the roughing the passer, where I think it should not be roughing the passer. But
That
you got to
was
think today's
bullshit.
NFL. You got to think today's NFL. This guy is a prized possession. He's a quarterback, and at that, he's one of the best in the league. You have to protect it.
He even let
He
up.
let up.
I'm telling
but
you.
you know that's getting called. You know that's getting called 100 times out of
bullshit.
100 times. You know it is,
That's bullshit.
and you know 100% it's getting called for 202. Obviously, it didn't.
We don't get
called
those
last year
calls.
when he got,
We do
Bro.
not get those calls. Stop it. Stop it.
bro.
They let our guy die on the
that's,
field.
That's my biggest flop. There's 3 critical mistakes there from one player in a key game where you can't have any mistakes. 2 of them being mental mistakes, lining up offsides. Hopefully he comes back this week. He has a better game. It's a division opponent. Let's move on. Let's get to the turning point. Turning point, basically the moment that turned the game for us or for the other team. Let's start with you, Martin. We started with Skinny last time.
I think it had to be that second pass with the water in the same vicinity, like that we were driving, man. We were actually looking better as the game progressed. The first half wasn't very good. The second half, to be in that position to be able to tie the game, and then that pick happens because you put 2 receivers in the same vicinity. It's like that's a Dolphins move. Like it's not a McDaniels move because that's not what he always does, but it's a Dolphins thing. It's something like when you least expect it, you shoot yourself in the foot. It was a Dolphins play, and that was a turning point for me. That the game was over after that. Not really, but yes, it was.
I don't know who to blame on that play because sometimes receivers run routes, bro. They just go run some other shit because they know they're a decoy And we don't know if it's McDaniel's design on that or is it Waddle just
But it
thinking,
happened 2
"Oh,
times
I'm
in
just
one
clearing
game.
out." Yeah, whatever. Either way, the game should have been closer. The moment that changed everything, as I mentioned in the beginning, as stellar as he's been all season long, I think the Tyreek Hill drop, that would have been a walk-in touchdown, changes the game, puts pressure on Philly to actually respond, and it would have made the difference in the game. I truly believe that. You put the pressure on them. They really weren't playing amazing football. They weren't going downfield until we saw the late pass to AJ Brown, but they were dinking and dunking and nickel and diming us, bro. Like it was annoying to see Eli Apple again just playing so far back and allowing these third or the
Frustrating.
2nd and 7s turn into 3rd and
Frustrating,
1s
man.
and 4th and 1s because they were just going to continue to convert, man. And it was really annoying. I'm just happy we might get Jalen Ramsey back this week because our secondary definitely needs help, especially this week with Holland. It might be that's still in concussion protocol, might not play this week. Who knows? But we need the help in the secondary big time. I'm done with fucking Eli Apple. I don't want to see him anymore.
Mentioned the secondary. Nick Needham, I believe, just got activated, so we might have him pretty soon. I want to go with the turning point being Isaiah Wynn getting hurt. Isaiah
It's a
Wynn
big
getting
loss.
hurt absolutely killed us. If you notice, right when what's this guy's name? Lester, no?
Lester Cotton.
Lester Cotton. When this guy got in the game, it completely changed for us. They were getting pressure right down the middle of the O-line. And not to even mention that Tyreek Hill drop, because that was a big part of the game. How about the holding call on the first drive when you could have gone up 7-3? 7-3 on the first drive. And we got called for holding because our starting guard isn't in there. What do you guys think of that? How we move forward from that if we lose Isaiah Wynn now for a long period?
Well, they placed him on IR, so for sure out for 4 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
I know Armstead is kind of trending towards Kansas City. If not, he returns after the bye when we play versus the Raiders. We got to get healthy, man. The bug has hit us. It hasn't hit us for the long haul with no big time injuries for the season. But damn, we've
Mm-hmm.
fucking been hit this season so far. Imagine we're almost out of IR spots. What happens if we had to put somebody and stash them for the playoffs?
Better
It's
now than
crazy.
later. Better now than later.
I guess, yeah, but we got to get healthy, bro. Imagine if we go to we face New England now at home. That's our one advantage. We play very well at home this season so far, but
And I
the
mean,
left side of the line, man, down.
it seems like a current Dolphins theme where O linemen go down and you're shuffling guys around and guys that don't belong in positions, and the depth really just isn't there sometimes just because of injuries or other things going on. Um, we all got our turning point in. What's the next one we got coming, Skinny?
We are going now to the river where we discuss PATS week. What are our thoughts? How do we feel? They just beat the Buffalo Bills in a thriller. How do we feel about this week coming up, boys?
I'm not really worried about the Pats. I think obviously it's a division opponent, but other than that, we need to get our shit together and worry about our things, what we can control, and get better from what we should have done better versus the Eagles. Other than that, get healthy, get ready for Kansas City. I don't really see that as a big game.
See, one of the positives I took away from this game versus Philly is we know how dominant that offensive line is, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I do feel like the front seven of our defense had major improvement this week. David
Of
Long
course,
was all over the field, making
of
big
course.
plays, getting tackles. Christian Wilkins, you felt him a little bit. He's been non-existent for a lot early in the season, but we got some plays. Also, Bradley Chubb, way to show
Welcome
up
to
against a big
Miami.
team. Way to show up against a big team when we fucking need it. They were applying pressure. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has that ability to extend plays and break out of some tackles. And yeah, there should have been
Yeah.
some sacks that we should have got, but I felt like the defensive line and the linebackers played extremely well, and I know that's going to help big going in now to week 7 versus New England. I mean, sorry, week 8.
What scares me about playing New England, and obviously we're at home, is just that win they just got off of Buffalo. That's a huge confidence boost, man. You know how you felt after we beat Buffalo last year at home. We thought we could beat anybody in the NFL. Um, Maybe that's something they get going. I know after coming off a loss to the Eagles, we won't come out flat. We'll probably come out with some intensity, wanting to get back to the rhythm we were at. I don't have a problem with us playing right now. I think we blow by this team, no problem. But let's see. I think the game will be. I don't want to say it's a close game, but it's always a close game versus Pats Dolphins. But I'm gonna say 24-13 Dolphins.
I don't even care how much we win by. At the end of the day, we need to beat this team 100%. But we
Of
gotta
course,
stop
division.
thinking that we gotta get off the high horse, man. We gotta stop like, oh, coming after these weak teams and beating them, and then we gotta beat a good team, man. Like this season means nothing unless you beat a quality team. We haven't beat one yet, according to records. Everybody has 2 wins that we've beat so far, or something like that. It's pretty sad to see what we have as a unit, like as a roster. I get it, injuries do matter, and I think although we have a lot of injuries in the O line, they've actually held their own with having so many of the first tier, second tier now hurt.
Hmm.
They play better than we expected, especially what we've seen the last few years. Usually, you lose one guy, the whole O line goes down. So we need to get healthy into Kansas City. That's not going to be an easy game going all the way to first of all the travel to then play in Germany. It's not going to be easy, man. And playing Kansas City is never easy. And we just need this. You know how we were saying, oh, we're going to be okay. We lose one game versus the Eagles and then maybe beat the Chiefs. We need this game more than anything. We need a quality win.
That's
Yeah, but
why
you're
I
you're
felt
ahead 2 weeks, Martin.
I'm already there. I don't think the Patriots game. We got to win. That's about it. We have to win. It doesn't matter. If we blow them out, great. But at the end of the day, it's a win and get to Kansas City. That's all you need. Stay healthy. Go to Kansas City. Well, not
good
Kansas
teams
City, Germany.
good teams do not lose back-to-back games. You lost in Philly. They got that fire in their belly right now. They know they should have had a better chance and performance in that game. But like I said, good teams do not lose back-to-back. I expect this game to be a little more of a defensive battle, especially with how hurt we are on the offensive line. I expect this to be 20-13. So win by a touchdown this week. But yeah, man, we got to get healthy. We got to keep it moving forward. The Chiefs game will be the test. I knew Philly, we can just go out there and show, especially them being an NFC opponent. It's not that big of a deal. You can live with the loss there. You got to win the big one in your conference. So Chiefs will be that measuring stick game.
All right, I'm going back to the Patriots. Do you think Xavier Howard plays this weekend as well as Armstead?
Armstead, I don't think is able to come off IR yet. I do think Xavier plays this week, and I do think Jalen Ramsey comes back this week.
Don't
Unveil
you
in the
think it's too soon?
throwback.
Too soon for Ramsey?
All reports say he's looking great in practice. He got a scout team. I know it means nothing. Scout team player of the week last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing 11 on 11s this week in practice. Get him out there. Let's go. Let's give him a week to get into rhythm, into form, and then because we know we got our big opponent the following week, and
Yeah.
we need him. We need him to be out there. I felt the same way early, but it's looking like everything like he's back to 100%. So if he's 100%, why not play him?
My thing is playing the Chiefs. When you go out there and play the Chiefs, you don't want to have a guy like Eli Apple out there. This guy could get burned on any play since he plays that very
No,
safe,
he
hesitant.
won't get burned because he's 20 yards
Well,
behind.
this is where I'm getting at. Patrick Mahomes is a creator. If he's gonna play that safe type of defense, and he's just gonna be, like playing that sitting duck defense, some guy could get behind them, no problem with that extension. I'm surprised we didn't see it against Philly. We really didn't see any big plays. I think the longest play we saw was AJ Brown, but I think you do need him out there for KC. I don't risk him putting out there this week. It's not that big of a game. It is a big game because it's a division game, but it's not that big of a game where you might need him. You have success without him in the past versus the Patriots. I do think you need Xavier and Howard. You need a lockdown on the other side to force him to throw the other way. Um, but man, I'm excited. I'm excited just to see the Chiefs in 2 weeks. I mean, I don't want to coast through the Patriots, but let's get it, man. Any
This
closing
game
thoughts?
matters, man.
Yeah,
This game matters because if you lose back
bro.
to back, you're losing in Kansas City. You got to get a win here.
No, yeah, the
Bro,
win
but
is for sure. That's not the point. I'm just talking about how we win. At the end of the day, we win, we win.
Important. This is an important game. You got a team off a big win. We just said the confidence is through the roof. Why not put your best players out there?
The thing with the game in
Gotta get
Kansas
healthy,
City,
man.
like Martin said, the travel doesn't affect one team. It's gonna affect both teams on that one. Do you expect to see like a high scoring game? Do you expect to see anything crazy? Because I really don't. I think they're gonna come up like a little bit off, maybe because of the switching of the schedule. I don't know what it is, but
two high-powered offenses. Absolutely. And it's a show in Germany. Come on. You know they're gonna try to make it lights out to be the most exciting thing in the world overseas.
I guess let's leave Chiefs week for next week, but yeah, like that to me it's gonna be a low scoring game. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game, to be honest.
I mean, if the Dolphins played their with the Chiefs in Germany in October, I definitely would have gone to Germany. That would have been a great trip to go to. So we're gonna close it out, guys.
No. We have to discuss. Last topic.
What are we discussing?
How do we feel about the Dolphins being announced to be in season Hard Knocks? Let's hear it.
Martin, you're giving us a thumbs down. What's up?
Oh, Martin.
Why don't you like it?
I don't like it at all. We don't even know. I get it. Everybody says we have a good locker room, but these are gonna be tough times if we don't get these wins. The last thing I want is media being in there. I'm just saying.
Media's always in there, bro.
No, you know what I mean. This type of media.
We are fans, bro. Hard Knocks is fucking amazing. Why would you not want this? And knowing the players we have, the only one that might not want the camera time is Tua because he seems very reserved. But dude, you know Tyreek's gonna be showing out. Fucking Ramsey's gonna walk out there with the money with the tank. What is it that he did that season with the Jaguars? The Brinks truck, like, yo, like, come on. This is the time for the theatrics, and yeah, sure, distraction or whatever. But dude, we're fans. We're not the fucking media. We want to see that shit. That fucking Hard Knocks is amazing. Quarterback is amazing. Like, all those shows are really cool. I'm excited for it. And obviously, hopefully we keep winning to keep it exciting for us. But you know, it could be interesting, man. I'm for
the
it.
highlight of our season. Hard Knocks might be the highlight of our season.
Nah, don't listen. This team is good. This team is good.
Now that you guys don't want to close it out,
5-2.
I'm gonna ask you guys. Dolphins. We've seen the Dolphins a Hard Knock. What was your favorite Hard Knocks memory from that season of Hard Knocks?
Good ball, Pat.
With the Dolphins.
Yo, you took it right from me.
Ball, Pat.
My favorite was and it's a bad moment, but my favorite was Vontae Davis getting cut. Can't call my grandma.
Nah, hell no.
They'll never show shit like that. They've watered down Hard Knocks so much. They'll never show a fucking moment like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you say that they're gonna be distracting, Martin, but bro, really those guys are like flies on the wall, bro. Like, do you even really notice them with all the media that's always around? Do you notice them with other reporters? It's just Dolphins, like it's another day in the office.
Different. It's your own beat writers that are in there.
The Dolphins always have the cameras rolling. We see the locker rooms after every fucking win. Like they all have podcasts. They all go out there and do their own thing. Like this is gonna be a fantastic thing, bro. I don't know how.
I can't wait to see Tyreek. I can't wait to see Tyreek Hill on Hard Knocks, bro. That's gonna be something great. It's been great, guys. We got another week of Dolphins football coming up. We're hyped. I don't know if Martin's hyped because he's a Chargers fan and they just lost. But thank you. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, this is All Fin, where you get all in on the Dolphins.
Beat them Pats.
Good ball, Pat.